everyone! Welcome back to another banner reaction. I'm DTM as always, a little late because I'm very busy, but hopefully we're here with an amazing new banner now. Unfortunately, it is the children's banner, and it seems to be either Echoes or FE7. I've seen like split debate over that, but it's either going to be Eliwood and Rebecca, or and Faye, I guess. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, let's get into it. As always, if you like the content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly does help out the channel a lot, and I really do appreciate all the constant support. And yeah, let us begin. Alright. Okay, this is not Echo's music. This is, I think, FE7 music. So I guess that settles that. Alright, who is... Whoa, it's young Hector. Okay.
Eliwood's a close friend. He's also my rival. I like that he
wow, Patrick Sets actually sort of pulled that off. Like, unlike last year. Okay, we don't talk about that voice acting. But against Eitri? Wait, what's going on?
Out of my way!
Armored Beacon. Is he still an armor unit? Okay, I was too busy laughing. I didn't catch that, unfortunately. We'll have to go back and look. Oh, there's Eliwood. There's Eliwood. Yeah, I haven't played FE7, so unfortunately I don't really have any like emotional attachments to these characters. But he's still on a horse apparently. I think like speed defense clash I saw on the icon. SD near trace, inborn idealism. I see bonus doubler and no panic. Oh boy, are we going to get like a blessable legendary Eliwood? That'll be extremely scary.
My blade strikes true.
Alright. Okay, it is Rebecca, I assume. Huh. Interesting. I have no idea who Rebecca is, honestly. Again, I haven't played FE7, but I know Escaro, I think, is a huge fan of Rebecca. Wait, is this a demote? With finish 3. Well, it's a special demote, so it doesn't actually count. But that is a perf skill. That is really spicy, actually. What? What is this? Lind and I'm assuming Mark, right?
Let's hold hands.
No, it's... Wait, Mark is the lead? Wait, what?
Swift is the wind.
Wait, we actually have Mark.
I've got your back.
What? Sabotage? Those are new. Canto Control is interesting. But what? I thought Lin would be in the lead. Wait, what? Inflicts Isolation Guard and Special Cooldown count +2. Okay, so it's similar to Young Ike, but has, I think, more effects, especially with the Isolation, right? That is really nice. How good will this be in SD? Because that's the main place where you use dual skills.
Feeling of the wind.
Wow, Mark as the lead. What? I'm still like shocked about that. Well, I guess that means that Male Morgan, or like I guess a Morgan, Male Morgan probably, has special heroes alt now. If you all know the theory about the future past Morgan, being like sent, I guess, back through like the universe, and then eventually being here as Mark because, you know, the male Morgan is named Mark. Yeah, it's a crazy theory, but I just thought it was funny thinking about this here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it is FE7. Very interesting choices. Again, I thought Lin would be in the front because... Okay, Hector somehow is still in armor. We will never get a non-armor Hector ever. At least it comes with DR Far Save, so that's pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at these weapons. Starting with Valiant War Axe, we have Slaying, At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack defense -6 on foe during combat, inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack, and reduces damage from attacks during combat by 30%, excluding AoEs. And also, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, inflicts penalty on foe's attack during combat equal to 12, minus foe's max special cooldown count value times 2. Min 4 if foe does not have a special skill, penalty 4. Okay, so this is really interesting. We have guard, we have like attack -6, like just from existing. We have the 30% damage reduction, which is really nice. And the penalty being on further on attack minus like 12 plus like the cooldown count of the foe times 2. So the lower cooldown the foe has, the more attack debuff they get. Now, attack debuffs are extremely strong, especially as an armor, because reducing your attack also means you're reducing the effectiveness of like armor effectiveness, triangle advantage, etc. And so theoretically, like you can have like the minimum foe special cooldown is generally going to be like 2, probably 1 if they're slaying, but let's say 2 for the sake of argument. That becomes 12 minus 4, so that is 8. So just from the weapon alone, you get like -14 attack, which is inflicting on the foe during combat, which is pretty huge actually. Like that is really good. All right, what does Armored Beacon do? Boosts special damage by 40% of unit's defense if foe's range equals to 2 and unit or foe special is ready or triggered before or during combat. Reduces damage from foe's next attack by 40%. Once per combat, excluding AoE special. Okay, I'm going to assume this is similar to like Vital Astra. Seems that way, because the main effect is the like damaging special. And then as long as the foe is ranged, and you have your special ready, or the foe special is ready, or it's triggered before, after combat, etc., you get 40% damage reduction, which is nice. You're continuing to stack damage reduction. I don't know if this... I don't know. He can't come with like 2 perf skills, right? Is this inheritable? There's no way, right? Now, the question is whether or not this is like, you know, Vital Astra or Godlike Reflexes. One is pierceable via like lethality, Deadeye, the other being like not. I'm going to assume it's like Vital Astra and this can be pierced through lethality and Deadeye just due to the wording and everything. Actually, maybe not. Actually, this doesn't seem to be a proc. Yeah, I don't think this is like a proc special. So this should still be pierceable by lethality or Deadeye. So I think for most armors, especially like Hardy Fighter armors, I think you still run like Aegis and the like. So a bit niche, but still very strong, especially for like near safe units and who don't have to worry about those skills as much. And of course, like if you aren't running Hardy Fighter, you're running something else, this will be a very good skill, assuming it's inheritable, of course. All right, what does Ostia's Heart do? Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range, as expected. If unit initiates combat or foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at the start of combat, inflicts attack defense -8 on foe during combat, and also when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 HP to unit. Okay, this young Hector I think is really good. Just from the skills alone, like assuming again like a 2 cooldown special, you get like -22 attack, which is actually insane. Like what? Like what is this? That's not even counting all the damage reduction and everything. Now it remains to be seen whether he can survive Valentine's Crom without Hardy Fighter. So we'll have to wait and see on the couch for that. But young Hector seems to be a very strong unit. And of course we have Vengeful Fighter 4 and DR Farsave, which is really nice, of course. Okay, it's not a proc special, so yeah, it's probably going to be pierceable by lethality and Deadeye, which is a bit unfortunate. Alright, young Eliwood. What in the world is your C skill?
To follow follow in my father's footsteps. And
Okay,
live forever.
Red Sword
That is
Cavalry.
my dream.
Interesting. Okay, he's
What
buffing, I guess, Hector there? Okay, let's read what Fiery War Sword does. Accelerate special trigger if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack all stats plus X to unit during combat, X being the number of bonus effects active on unit excluding stat bonuses times 3 plus 5 max 17. Neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks and reduces damage from foes first attack by 40%. Okay, so as long as you initiate combat or is within 2 spaces, you get a bonus per stack to like attack speed defense res. So every positive status effect will grant you 3 additional stats to attack speed defense res. In addition, you get +5. Unfortunately, this has a max of 17. It's not like Brave Crom, which is theoretically infinite. There is a max. So unfortunately, it's not as good as Brave Crom. But I think that's not the point. Like, the point is probably the C skill, which we'll get into. Speed Def Clash 4, we know what it does. Inborn Idealism. At start of turn, if a dragon or beast ally is deployed... Okay, that's a bit sad of a condition, but it can be worked with. Grants attack speed defense +6, bonus doubler, and no panic to unit and ally with the highest attack. Okay, so it's very, very similar to Legendary Eliwood. I think it was called Visions of Arcadia or something like that. Yeah. And so it's very similar to Visions of Arcadia. Instead of the no panic it gives, it grants the bonus doubler effect. I'm sorry, Dexter. So Visions of Arcadia 2 grants you Canto 1 and no panic. And of course attack speed defense 6 with the same conditions. Here we are getting no panic and bonus doubler because a Legendary Eliwood's weapon was the one that granted that bonus doubler. Here obviously we don't have bonus doubler in the weapon, so it's in the C. So it's not as good as Legendary Eliwood, I would think. Yeah, I think honestly Legendary Eliwood is, as a support unit, I think it's just better. Now I do think that this young Eliwood has better combat because again, stacking stats is really good, and you have full NFU and damage reduction and whatnot. But like, if you're going to use like either young Eliwood or Legendary Eliwood, you're mainly there for the supportive effects, right? And the Canto 1 that Legendary Eliwood has is just so huge. It's just so good. Still though, this will definitely be a very good option for, teams outside of win season. And you can use this in ether rates a lot more consistently for your Omni tanks. So that is obviously really nice. Have that support available in all seasons, because in ether rates, offense as an Omni tank, Canto 1 is not as important. But in something like Summoner's Duels, I think Legendary Eliwood is probably better. But yeah, like, wow, this is going to be a pretty decent unit, I'd say. Very interesting.
My blade strikes true.
All right. This is the demote, I assume. There's a demote in these types of banner. It's Fallen that doesn't have a
I
demote.
wonder what the world is like outside my village.
Rebecca is an interesting choice. I haven't seen a lot of Rebecca fans outside of Escaro. But let's see what Gusty Warbow does. Accelerate special trigger effective against beast and flying. Okay, interesting. At start of turn, if unit is within 3 spaces of an ally and unit special cooldown is at its maximum value, grant special cooldown count -1 on unit. That's really good. Times pulse, always nice. If unit is within 3 spaces of an ally, grants all stats +5 to unit and reduces damage from foes first attack by X% during combat. If in combat against beast foe or cavalry or flying foe with range equals to 2, X equals 60, otherwise X equals 30. Wow. Rebecca just hates beasts, I guess. And also if unit special is ready or unit special triggered before or during this combat. Deals +7 damage during combat, except when dealing damage with AoEs. Okay. I think this is a pretty decent weapon, right? You get all stats +5, you get slaying, you get times pulse, which is really nice. Helps charge down, say, like Deadeye or Ruptured Sky if you're running like Special Spiral or whatnot. Damage reduction is really nice on the first attack, of course. 60% is really nice, but 30 generally suffices, especially now that we have Remote Sparrow. You can like compound that, and you get true damage. I don't think she'll be meta or anything, like far from it. But I guess it's decent. And I guess we get attack speed finish 3 as Inheritance chain option, but again, this isn't in the normal pool, so that is a bit unfortunate. Still decent.
How am I doing?
Yeah. Alright, Mark is not a unit I would expect to be in the lead here. What are they thinking? Lyn would be so much more popular.
Let's hold hands
Like,
so we don't get
like
separated,
they could have
okay?
easily just put Lyn in the front. Like, I don't know why they didn't. Because Lyn is like the one speaking and everything. That's actually kind of crazy.
I got your back.
Alright, what does Total War Tome do? Accelerate special trigger. At start of turn, inflicts attack speed, defense res -5. Sabotage. What is that? And stall on closest foes within 5 spaces of unit and foes within 2 spaces of those foes through their next action. Okay, that's really good. Inflicting stall obviously is really good, as we've seen from Summer Thor. Obviously, that's not all she does. She does a lot more, but we'll see how Mark's combat is. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts all stats -5 on foe during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. And also, if a stat penalty is active on any foe within 2 spaces of target, neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Okay, so we got tempo built in immediately. What does sabotage do? Inflicts penalty on units' stats during combat equals to the highest penalty on each stat between unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit through its next actions. I'm sorry, what? Okay, hold on, let me read this. Inflicts penalty on units' stats during combat equals to highest penalty on each stat between the units and the allies within 2. Okay, so calculates each stat penalty independently. Okay, I see. So this basically means that within like 2 spaces of yourself, if you get inflicted by sabotage, you get the lowest penalties within those 2 spaces for each of those stats. So say like your ally has like -7 attack, another ally has like -7 speed, and they're within 2 spaces of you. If you get sabotage, you get those -7 and 2 attack and speed. Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting effect. I don't think it's as good as exposure or anything, but still pretty decent, I guess. You get tempo, you get a guaranteed follow-up attack, you get a lot of debuffs, obviously, and you get stall. But I don't know. I think so far I'm not exactly feeling it for this young duo. What does Sabotage AR3 do? At start of turn, if any foe res less than units res and that foe is adjacent to another foe, inflicts attack res -6 on that foe through its next action. Okay? At the start of combat, that's like, I guess, Sabotage, yeah. At start of combat, if units res is greater than foe's res, inflicts attack res -X on foe during combat. X equals to 3, plus the highest penalty on each stat between target and foes. Within 2 spaces of target, calculates each stat penalty independent. Okay, so it's like the Sabotage status effect. Interesting. Honestly, I don't think this is that great of a B skill. I much prefer Special Spiral 4. And honestly, I think you probably want to run Special Spiral 4 on Mark to begin with. If not, you have like the Seal skills, which inflicts in-combat debuffs, which is really nice. This one does help with like the debuffs and everything. So obviously it can be useful there, but I don't think this is that great of a B skill, honestly. Obviously, Cancel Control 3 is really good. But yeah, honestly, I think Mark is, as a dual unit, is, at least with just the kit, is a bit underwhelming. Now, obviously, this dual skill, I think, is where it's at. You inflict Isolation, Guard, and Special Cooldown count +2 on foes within 3 columns and 3 units of you. And that is really huge. Like, Isolation can shut down so many things in Summoner's duels. And Guard, obviously, is very annoying since it prevents you from getting specials. And then, of course, Special Cooldown count +2 means that, if you're, say, running pre-charge AoEs or Hardy Fighter Aegis, for example, you can pulse those down and have a lot easier time getting through those. So yeah, like, this dual skill is really, really strong. Now, does this dual skill allow Mark to be usable? Because from the kit, at least from what I've read, like, the kit basically just inflicts debuffs and stall. And stall is very nice, right? Like, stall is really good. But in terms of, like, stall users, you're competing against Summer Thor. And I don't think Mark does enough to warrant using Mark over Summer Thor. Because Summer Thor, like, has an AoE that can easily be pre-charged, has the bonus neutralization, which is definitely super important these days with the bonus stacking. Meanwhile, Mark, all he's doing is inflicting debuffs. And yeah, I guess tempo is nice too. So, like, Special Spiral, I think, is probably where you want to run him as. Okay, what are Mark's stats? We saw the stats, right? Yeah. Low defense is a bit of an oof, and I don't think Mark has any sort of damage reduction outside of remote Neros. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not really feeling it. Yeah. I think they overvalue this dual skill. I mean, who knows? This dual skill might actually be able to carry Mark, and you might see Mark, like, very present in Summer's duels, but I don't think he'll be top tier by any means. Like, Young Ike is not top tier. Now, granted, Young Ike doesn't have the isolation, so who knows? Maybe that will be, like, the tipping point where Young Mark can be viable with just his dual skill. But I don't think he really is able to nuke that well, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Yeah, as we can see here, we'll have to see how impactful this dual skill will be. That is a lot of debuffs, though.
The feeling of the wind.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's gonna be fun. But yeah, very interesting banner. Again, I'm still so shocked that I think that's Lucius, right? I believe so. Young Lucius, I think. Let me check. 1 second. Yeah, that is Lucius. Okay, interesting. Unfortunately, Lucius is a healer, so I don't have much high hopes. Who knows? Maybe we'll get something good. But yeah, overall, very interesting banner this last month. Personally, I'm probably going to be skipping this. None of these units I think I particularly need, and nor do I think will be that meta impactful. Maybe Young Eliwood outside of Wind Season, because it's always good to have, like, a legendary Eliwood you can use outside of Wind Season, especially in something like AR. Hector might become a very good far safe option. Again, it will depend on the simulations and the calcs and whatnot, but I think he has a good case going for him with all that attack debuffs. Mark, without his dual skill, I think is very underwhelming. With his dual skill, I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It really is. And then Rebecca, I guess, is there. But yeah, overall, very interesting banner. Let me know what you think of this banner down below in the comments. And yeah, if you enjoyed this reaction, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that jazz to help support the channel. Only takes 5 seconds to subscribe, but it truly does help out this channel a lot, and I really do appreciate all the constant support. And yeah, Personally, I'll be skipping this banner. And it's always a good idea to wait until we get information about other banners as well. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed this reaction and analysis. And yeah, see you all next time. Bye, everyone.